recent UN study has revealed that over half of Caribbean women experience some form of gender-based violence throughout their life. Barbados was not covered by the study. However, previous investigations into the island have revealed similar numbers and results, and although the Caribbean country has a number of organizations that represent women, legislation and social practices still seem to fail the gender. President of the National Organization for Women, Marsha Hinds-Layne, worried that Barbados's exclusion from such studies and initiatives were symptoms of a much larger problem. One such measure was the Spotlight Initiative, a global partnership between the European Union and the United Nations to eliminate all forms of violence against women and girls.
We did not meet the grade because our government is not seen as putting enough investment into itself trying to deal with the issue of domestic violence and intimate partner violence. And so because we don't have many of what the fund sees as the basic structures for fighting domestic violence with any seriousness, we were not considered to be a part of the grant. So we don't have a mechanism, like I just told you, to measure our epidemic. That's one of the things that you had to have.
The now president was certain that the numbers in Barbados would be similar to the ones presented by the UN report. However, it would be impossible to obtain the statistics as the public does not have access to the relevant police documents.
So the current situation of abuse of women in Barbados, I think that we're at epidemic levels with respect to abuse of women in Barbados. People look at Trinidad and they look at Guyana and they say, oh, well, women are not dying on the same level that they're dying in these countries. And I say, my response to that is that there are multiple ways of dying. Sometimes you can die in the physical, but then you can also die emotionally. You can also die financially. And so we have a lot of women who are forced to live in some very unsafe and traumatic family iterations in Barbados. And that is from man to woman, but it is also, like I said, from father to daughter, uncle to daughter, brother to sister. You know, it's just a complicated space to be a woman in. Even just walking the road as a woman, you know, men who don't understand that you don't want them to tell you how big your behind is and how big your breasts are and what they want to put between your breasts. We find that the culture in Barbados has not changed a lot over time. Men still feel pretty much the same way they've always felt about women. They still feel women are useful for the same things they felt we were useful for all those years ago.
Barbadian women's rights activists like Hinds-Layne have been crying out for more attention to be drawn to the issue. On Women's International Day, gender activists met in Bridgetown to do just that and explained that boys need to be socialized better if we want to see a decrease in intimate partner violence. Ronelle King, director of Life in Leggings, testified that the UN report was accurate as she has received many cases of abuse online.
For one, a girl spoke on the account of her grandmother. She said her grandmother had told her that she had learned to swim finally in her old age because when she had attempted, she had experienced sexual harassment by the person who was to teach her. And from then, she never attempted to learn. And now as she's an old woman, she finally attempted to learn. So imagine the impact of that on her for all those years. And you had experiences of lesbian women talking about how they experienced persons breaking into their houses and writing slurs on their wall. Persons experiencing what we consider to be the term corrective rape, which is when lesbian women are raped for the purpose of correcting their sexuality, which is a horrible thing. You had experiences of persons talking about they went to the police station to report and they were turned away. They were not taken seriously. There were so many experiences, to be honest.
Barbados has already received its first female prime minister, an achievement many countries around the world cannot claim to have. However, abuse of women and rape are still rampant in the island, and local police have reported that they receive reports of intimate partner abuse every day. Marsha Hinds-Layne stressed that for the island to see a difference, we need to take a holistic approach to the issue and start seeing it as everyone's problem.